All your marketing materials, all your photography, that's all in-house. Right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, the cost factor for creating that type of, those pieces are just too much for us. So, we need to spend the money on the advertising purchase, so we have to get good, really good at creating collateral. And, when I fell in love with watches, I didn't know I'd actually turn into a photographer. Surprisingly, that is where my focus has been, is to become an excellent Photoshop artist. And, picking up every little piece of dust, it's honest. And you don't really see it as the end consumer. You're just flipping through Instagram and saying like, oh, I like that, and then move on to the next piece. But for us, it's like we spend so much time trying to get that perfect image out there because that's the presentation we can show you. And nothing against the larger brands, but significantly larger budgets, and ultimately surviving on just the Instagram account or their Google PPC group. It's for us, it's truly, that's the hardest part in a day-to-day, I think. I mean, the watch design almost comes easy, whereas the day-to-day running and making sure that your brand is getting out there too.
But the exciting part about taking all the photos and sharing the videos and like really engaging with people, that's the fun part. So when I say to myself, well, you haven't uploaded in maybe 2 days, you need to get some content ready. I'm thinking I need to get the content to share my brand. But the other fun part, because you always have to reward yourself, is once I get this content out there, I get to start engaging with people, I get to start discussions, and I get to hear the love, the hate, and then really ramp up the discussions that, if you're not sharing, then it wouldn't otherwise be happening.
Great, thank you.
I wanted to speak a little bit about goals. I'm sure the goal, obviously, as a small brand, you want to make the best watch that you can make.
When you may have just invested a lot of money in something and someone's saying, oh, I wish it was different. And then the whole group saying, oh, I wish it was different. You're like, uh-oh, well, I might have to rush and make a major change. So I think it's always doing better. Always a better product every day.
I think for me, it's really important to create as much of a fault-free watch as possible. So I think of myself, and Warren mentioned, my watch and my customers looking at myself as a designer watch. It's not a dive watch, it's not a race car watch, it's more of a design watch. So I want to create a watch that can last the years on this person's wrist. And firstly, I'll look at the movement value. So first movement I use with Rhonda from Twitter. And the following two models I've worked with Seiko. And I say to myself, what kind of movement would I want, as well as what kind of movement will break down in time? Because I want to create a product that's going to last a long time, and it's also the support you get with these brands. So I know if there's any issues with troubleshooting, I know I can always reach out to Seiko and say, hey, I'm having a specific issue, can you help me with testing? Can you maybe just acknowledge what might be happening? And that helps me create my fault-free watch that is strong and lasts a long time.
Your instant feedback on what we've done right or wrong. What can we do better? How can we achieve our goals? And so that can answer your question.
Consumers like the strongest thing for brands like us, because direct consumer to us is getting to understand who is buying this watch, why are they buying that, what's their mentality, and why do they appreciate it in the first place? Because right now this is the foundation stages. So whatever we're working on in these beginning years is going to be following us in the next decades, and this is the information that I would rather keep in the main ship than spread to different retailers and then possibly through the filters of that retail space not gain that information, which is so vital, because getting to understand the consumers and getting to build relationships with them, that's kind of part, it's just as important and just as exciting as designing the watch, is interacting with them, going out with them, and just understanding what makes their brand special and why there's a connection in the first place. We do a lot of direct-to-consumer because there's all these great answers that go with it, but a lot of it is because it's frankly what we have most access to. We can get on the internet, we can sell out to an event we throw, versus the retail shop that requires you to either increase your price in the end to the consumer, or potentially sacrifice your quality for the cost.
And we're in a position where we just don't have the margins to do something like that. And it's something that what allows us to do is make a higher quality piece that we can sell right to the consumer. And it's also nice because we're able to take care of the consumer, just like Jonathan said, is we can develop the relationship. We can learn what it is to be part of the brand very directly. Rather than say, we picked it up at so-and-so jewelers. It can be, I bought it from the factory. We had a drink at the bar and I walked around the watch. It was a great experience. That's valuable to everyone. Not only because now that watch has that much more of an interesting story, but also there's that relationship.
And you guys just threw a collector's weekend, right? And the only reason that's possible is because you guys build up that relationship and keep it going through social media, right?
Correct. So we threw an owner's party at our shop. It's actually a whole weekend. The first night we rented out the second floor of a really nice restaurant in downtown Chicago. We had a number of folks come there and just drink and eat all night. People went to jazz clubs until about 3 in the morning. I didn't. I've got an 8-month-old and a 4-year-old at home. I value my sleep. But then the next night, we also had an event actually at the HQ where we had a live taco maker, we had a jazz band. It was just a lot of fun. People came, they interacted, and they got to meet each other. It's just as important as meeting the head of the brand or anything else. It was a great little community. I know that those guys, they interact through email, they interact through, I know some of these guys are actually getting together in different cities across the country, which is such an amazing thing that I'm helping build this community. And it's really important.
It's great, yeah, friendships are really big one because of the product.
Yep.
We're going to talk a little bit about Kickstarter. You know, a couple of you guys, it probably wasn't part of the consideration, but Jonathan, for you, was a little different, so I wanted to start with you. But what maybe there was, when you first started the brand, you were considering it, the positives and negatives of Kickstarter within the community in general, and using it to fund the brand?
Sure. The best part of Kickstarter for myself was I was able to test an idea. Business, the word didn't even make sense to me. I had no idea how to run a business. I just knew I wanted to design something and I wanted to share it. And this was an outlet for me, so let's just try this. And the internet can generalize. If people don't like it, they won't buy it. And if they don't like it, they probably will say more negative things than positive things. And you can learn very quickly before investing tens of thousands of dollars. So Kickstarter for me was just like a dream come true. Like an idea that I was really passionate about, and I got support from all areas where I had no expectation. I said, you know, I know we're friends, or I know you said you liked it, but I didn't expect hundreds of people to just flood it and actually purchase. And that's the part where we're talking about fulfillment. Like, why is direct consumer so important? I would never want that to be automated. All these people are coming to support me. I would never want some robotic automated thing to shoot to that guy. I'm gonna write in the letter. I want to interact with that guy from wherever he's coming to reach me. And I think that's one of the beautiful things with Kickstarter. It's a very intimate, personal relationship where you're meeting with people either for the first time, or these are friends or family or supporters that you've known over the years that are just really coming to the table with great interest and great support. That Kickstarter, there's stigmas behind it, but I think it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, as long as you use it with the right intentions.
Mike and Chase, was it part of the thinking when you were starting the brands? Did it not come into consideration at all? What was your thoughts?
We didn't use Kickstarter. We were lucky enough to be able to be self-funded, and we're actually debt-free, which is something we're really proud of. It's something that I think is a phenomenal avenue for certain products and certain brands by our names. I think it's a very valuable resource for that. It didn't make sense in our world to use it. Frankly, it would have been nice to use because it is far less risk, and there's a lot of value in that. But for us, one of our brand pillars is make no little plans, which is a quote by Daniel Burnham, the city planner of Chicago, and actually designed a flag here in New York. Make no little plans, where they have no magic disturbance on. And it was one of those things where, all right, let's do it. We're going all in. We've got an idea, and I'm lucky enough that it's worked out. I mean, to be honest, we're using the kids' college funds and all of that. It's that scenario where it's important for me to be able to do this essentially on my own.
on Everest, actually, I used it twice. Both were successful, and I have to kind of mirror what John was saying. It was super clear. If you cut through, there was no BS. It was just, your product is going to work or it's not. And it was pretty simple. So, you set a goal of $15,000, let's say, or 20 or 50 or 100. And the results come through your customer base finding you through a great marketing platform. I will say that it was incredibly tough to not use it originally on Monta because of the fact that it being more of a marketing platform than a revenue generating piece for us. Just like Chase, we were doing pretty good, so we could afford to actually just self-fund the whole thing. But the marketing platform piece was so much more important to us because it gave our brand this just instant audience, millions of past backers. But we just felt that if we're going to create a long-term luxury brand, and that was what our intention was, then we felt that Kickstarter just wasn't the model for Monta. I think with John's product, it's a fantastic medium because he's hitting that market that's like maybe the upper echelon of the Kickstarter market, and they're going to really tell him if it's worth doing. I think Chase would agree with me. It kind of made more sense for him to kind of keep it individual and not trying to show so much out there like that. I think it's a great platform. If I was restarting Everest again, I'd use it again.
So it's actually interesting to see how it's changed over the course of 5 to 6 years, where in the beginning it was really for new brands that wanted to showcase the product. Then it got flooded with a lot of oversaturated, same generic watches, which kind of killed the platform. But now in the past year, we've seen all the Swiss brands using it for marketing reasons, not for the money, but the Swiss brands are using this because they know, hey, if we want to attract a specific audience, which Kickstarter has, why don't we come in? So the audience has changed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but actually I backed one of a Kickstarter project. It was last summer. It was L'Aventure. It was the L'Aventure Marine. I love the watch. I actually met the owner in Switzerland this past summer, and that was a great example because that watch was entirely made in Switzerland from start to finish, and it was about $1,800, I think, is what I ended up packing it for, and that was one of those amazing things. And then Performance just recently used it for their first cost certified watch under $1,000, which is pretty impressive. But it is neat to see that the Swiss are trying something that us Americans are doing, because we're always kind of slightly in their shadow of, so we don't have a movement, we don't have a pacemaker that's really, pumping them out. So not yet.
So it really is a free order. You don't have to build a product to get out there. It's a way to see, like, can this product swim? Is it good? And it's a great tool for that. And like Jonathan said, it has changed 4 or 5 years easily. Is very much a warning.
Absolutely. So when we talk about the label of micro brands, what does it have to deal with? Is it production, limited production? Is it pricing? How do you graduate from that? Do you find the term offensive, controversial? How do you feel about that?
So I'll start. Micro brands are themselves a bit of a movement, if you will, in the watch world.
Movement?
Full circle.
Well, I think I said I brand because we need to. I think that micro brand has a stigma with it. Micro brand to people usually means affordable, and with affordable means cheap, and that makes you think lower quality. Where you can compare yourself, for myself as an example, I could say, well, I'm selling a watch for, let's say, retail $500. But if I was to find the equivalent of this in a retail space, this would be a $2,500 or $3,000 watch. But since I'm able to remove the retail space, remove the market, of course I'm able to keep my prices low. But by becoming that micro brand category, you're kind of subjected to the value of being cheap. But it doesn't mean low quality. So that's the thing. It's sometimes even being better than the more expensive watches. And I think it's going to take time for people to, as you say, the name will graduate and people will understand just the more that either handle the watches through shows like this, or the more risks that are wearing watches and ours.
I think that the term micro brand is, I have to go with Chase, I don't like it at all. Because it's got this negative connotation, especially like Kickstarter watch, it rubs me the wrong way because it's kind of stabbing us a little bit from the connotation of the negativity. We are all independent brands. We're just not under the umbrella of Swatch Group or Rolex or Richemont, and you know what? That's fine. Like we're just giving it our hardest. I think that there have been situations where brands have popped up and then disappeared the next day, and that's very frustrating and disappointing. Like just this year, we saw a big time American watch brand that we all thought would probably be long lasting, Nile, just poof, close their doors. And I actually know Michael Wilson pretty well. We're all Midwesterners, and listening to his pain and frustration to try and make something where he was making his case in the United States and sourcing as many American parts as possible. And sadly, the quality just wasn't there. And to call him a micro brand when you see other brands doing the case cutting themselves and things like that, it's a stigma. Of course, this is my opinion because when someone says, well, you're just a micro brand, you're like, okay, well, I don't really consider myself I don't want to consider myself some sort of just this, and it's kind of hurtful. So,
if I was to make one prediction about so many micro brands, it's not just micro brands; it's just new brands overall saturating the market that kind of hinders the growth or graduation for us. I think in the next few years, this is my prediction, a lot of the brands that are starting will phase out. Like that's one brand, for instance. But I think a lot will phase out, so when there is the few that are left standing, we will continue to grow, and that will help us really stand out and be true to say, like, hey, we've been around, we've grown, and we've become this today. We're like one of the last few ones here.
Yeah, I mean, for example, like Helios is a great example. They're not truly an American brand, but they're a Canadian brand. And, they've done, it's just one guy, but he's making thousands of watches a year. I mean, he maybe have more production than some of the major brands in the world. And he's got a great design, he's got a great network of manufacturers working behind him, but he's a one-man show theoretically. And I call him a micro brand. He's making probably 2,500 to 4,000 watches a year. That's absurd, and I think all of us in here would agree with that. But it is the almost cheap, junky watch that popped up on Kickstarter, and they did the Kickstarter, they didn't fulfill it. That's what's kind of hurt us the most with that game.
I'm going to change directions for a second. I think we probably got a couple of questions left, and then we'll open it up to the audience for some questions as well. But talking for a moment about design, you guys all have very different, distinct designs. When I think of Monta, I think more of a tool watch, I guess. You're probably very much design influence, design in and of itself. I think with Okanaska, I think about complicated watchmaking. I think about some new vintage influences. How does design influence what you guys do on a daily basis, and how important is it to your watchmaking? Mike, you want to start?
I would definitely say that our design inspiration is probably from the top 5 brands out there. A lot of it is just wearing Omega, Rolex, Blancpain myself on a daily basis and taking in that and finding my favorite parts out of those watches. But then finding something that I would say is, oh, if this was just different, it would be better. So, but then also it's just things like travel and experience. For example, just like the name that we came up with, it was based on 2 words, like Monta meaning, Montant is a mountain in French, is a derivation of Everest, so there's that, and then Montre, which is a watch in French, so we just combined that. My wife she's infatuated with the quatrefoil shape, the shape that you see in a lot of Catholic churches, the little flower, and all I did was just invert a quatrefoil. So I think my inspiration is from almost every single thing that I'm consuming physically at all times, and then spitting out onto my brand, and hoping that someone's going to really like it also, so we pilot. But yeah, design inspiration is always, it's from so many different places. So
I think I take it back to the source of why does a person buy the watch that they buy and wear their watches. And as an example, if we all had the same watches and we're all wearing the same shirt, we'd all say to each other, ah, crap, one of us, well, three of us has to go change that because we all have the same watch. A very talented designer I worked with, I made a design and I held it up to him and said, you know, what do you think of this drawing? He took a black Sharpie and Sharpied it out, and it was just a black silhouette with a round watch face. And he says, well, now what do you think? I said, you're right, it has no DNA. It looks like every other watch out there. I said, great. Now, if you were to work for this license and design a watch that's specific, as a signature for this brand, how would you do this again? And then that took me back to today. I grew and said, I want more, like, inspiration. I want that retro, I want that more masculine industrial feel. But if I catch a glance at this watch case or the dial or something, I want to be able to recognize this instantly and say, oh, that's a beautiful blue watch. I bought that at a glance. The same way I see a Rolex. You see the bezel, the quick turn GMT, it's like, oh, look, I call it from around the corner. I want the same amount of signature style to do for this watch. I want for me to make, which was the square, silhouette, and labels in the watch.
So one of the biggest compliments folks can pay us is to say that your watch has its own complete identity, but it looks like it fits and it's been around for 50 or 60 years. And for us, the way that we like to design something is, first of all, again, one of our brand pillars is that details make up the design. We go overboard with the idea of the smallest little details of how they work in the dial, how they work in the case, how they work in just our packaging in general. And it's remarkably important to us that it all wraps up into a full, complete watch. And the fact that we're inspired by good design, whether it's architecture, whether it's furniture, whether it's other watches, or even just nature in itself. We want to design a watch that is unique, it's its own piece, but at the same time belongs and fits in the world of watches. And frankly, we don't ever want to design a watch that everyone likes. We like for there to be a little bit of that, I don't really care for that detail, or why did you do this? Because that means it's got soul, and it means it has something that someone can actually gravitate towards as well, to say, wow, I love the fact that you did that. And to us, it's very important to make sure that we have a good identity.
So, for a moment, we want to talk about a topic that's on the mind of a lot of consumers when you think of an American-made watch, the movement. Outside of Roland G. Murphy with RGM, a few of his watches, no one in America is currently producing in-house movements. Is this a goal that you guys have? Is it feasible? Is it reasonable? Is it even something that we should try to accomplish? What's holding America back from doing this?
No, yes, and maybe. No, like this is not, it's not our goal at this point in time right now, because there are phenomenal people out there who do their jobs amazing. Whether it's movement maker, case maker, hand makers, and everything else. We don't need to replicate or reinvent the wheel just in our own shop to be more proud of what we do. What we like to do is work with really good people. And that's something that helps build the industry, in our opinion, even more than just doing it ourselves. And there's a lot of value in having a movement, or having a case, or something of that sort. I guess it really goes more to the movement that is serviceable, that you can take to a jeweler, you can take to a trained watchmaker, and they can say, oh, okay, I know how to do this. But if you're doing something in-house, your service has to be done through only one person, and that can get extremely costly. Is it possible? Yes, definitely. It's going to require a lot of investment, it's going to require a lot of capital, and the market has to prove that it wants it. The market doesn't prove right now that it wants American made. And the other, frankly, annoying thing is how do we define American made? According to the government, it has to be more than 99% made in America. And there's really no other restriction right now in e-commerce. The Swiss-made watches don't even have that kind of restriction. So it's kind of it's a disadvantage that as watchmakers have. And just because it's made in the house doesn't make it better. In fact, you have the ability to have a lower quality because maybe you just started making hands, maybe you just started making cases. Why, in my opinion, why would you go, why wouldn't you go to someone who's been doing it for 100 years, who's a master at it, and who can do it for you, do it perfectly, they know all the pitfalls, they to know everything about it. And you can have that in a watch for much less.
Manufacturing so much when it comes to stamping, CNC, finishing, assembly. These are all things that I geek out. That's why I like to visit the manufacturers. There are good examples of people such as Fossil, Shinola, same brand transitioned in different companies. When you look at how Shinola used their model of saying, okay, for our movements, we're going to continue using Ronda, but we're not going to use Ronda in Switzerland. Rather, we're going to train people in Detroit, bring the machinery here to have people assemble the same movements that have existed for decades, right? So they're going to do that rather than a company that has billions of dollars start their own movement manufacturer. Of course, it's not their model to be a movement manufacturer. It doesn't make sense. But I think that has something to say to the market needs. If there's a billion-dollar company that chooses to still use a Swiss manufacturer for movements and not do it themselves, there's a lot of trust in that history of this guy is more than qualified to do what he's doing. Let's use this as it is. Let's not change it. For myself, the fun thing that I want to do, because you have to keep true to your brand. I love the CNC. I want to make my own pieces. Somebody that actually does a really good job of that is Sean Designs out of Boston. Really clever guy who does one pieces, one by one. I'm going to eventually have my coffee shop where you come in, you get your espresso, you order your parts. I'll have certain parts pre-made, some parts on the spot, whether it's engraving, different pieces that you can order, and by the time you're done, you receive your watch. I enjoy that experience. I wouldn't want to go full-fledged. Let's start millions of dollar process to produce our own parts. Not yet.
I think that the Swiss have nailed it, and trying to replicate what they have done is probably a gigantic mistake for all of us right now. Jean-Claude Hubert, in one of his interviews about a year or two ago, had said that he had been asked a similar question and said, do you believe that in-house movements are somehow increase the value of the watch? And his response was no, they don't. And his pinpoint was, we have perfected the 2824 at a movement, the 2892 at a movement. These movements are perfected. There's nothing wrong with them. And the end consumer, we've screwed up and taught them that it's better that we make the movement ourselves. I think if you're going for a unique complication, that's a completely different story. If you're going for a classic hour, minute, seconds, an automatic movement in a day, we're pretty hard pressed to find anything better than what's out there on the market today. That being said, I think there's always an area for us to make, in the US, maybe something a little bit more improved. Say, for example, maybe extending the power reserve somehow by looking in the barrel, or maybe making it more accurate. But I think that at this point, it's too early for American watchmaking in its rebirth to invest in the movements. We should be focusing more on exterior pieces that we can design and then externally have someone produce us, and then eventually bring it in-house. Like, to take a point on Quanta, we got gutsy and messed with the bezel assembly. Bezel assembly has 12 different parts, it has 2 different patents on it, and we created something that was completely different, it was completely unique to us. It was a frustrating, very expensive process. But now, after 3 years, we're using it in every single bezel design, and it is one of the most unbelievably great bezels to play with. And I think that is something that American watchmakers should be focusing on, instead of something that has maybe too many moving parts, for the pun, and just too many pieces that we just aren't good at yet. So I think if we can focus more on the internal design of the base of the watch, have someone make it for us, and then eventually begin working on those parts maybe over a 10 or 15 year period, just like everybody else does, then that would really, that would probably be the best. And just to kind of give it the best example I can even think of is Rolex and their chronograph. I mean, up until a few years ago, they were sourcing movements from Zenith, I don't remember all the other ones, but long story short, they just weren't making their own chronograph. And eventually they built into it, and this is probably the most recognized watch brand in the world. So we should follow in that footsteps.
All right, so I think now we have time for 2 or 3 questions. If anyone, yes, sir.
So, advantage of perfection is the enemy of good. And I think you just touched on some of my question, which is, in terms of design, how do you decide what's good enough? And I'm curious to hear all your opinions on what's good enough in terms of your design.
Okay, so what's good enough? It could be a very open-ended question because it depends on everything from price point, your market, who you're going to. So, what's good enough? This is actually something interesting. Since I was fortunate enough to work for some really prestigious, beautiful brands, I always wanted to absorb the experience that would give somebody $4,000 to $5,000, $10,000 watch in $500 watch. So, what is good enough for a luxury brand in terms of the quality and finishing to the final delivery is in my head as the goal. That would be good enough for me. I don't want to cheap out on specific parts, whether it's the straps or the dial finishing or the case finishing, because that person is going to be obviously interested in other watches. I don't want him to say side by side, why is this less valuable, or why is this not finished correctly? And I have my, not to say it's going to be a Rolex, but you should be able to do side by side. This is just as beautiful in its own way. So to your question, always making the benchmark of doing the very best for finishing, choosing the best movements, doing the best QC, and then I think we all do a very good job on the final delivery, making sure that you're receiving your watch in a timely manner, but not just that, that you're content with it. If you have any issues, you should be able to send it back. You should be able to be getting this watch serviced. And if you have questions, you should also get your answers quickly answered.
Jason, for your answer, this is like it's never good enough, probably.
No, so it's different. It's a different answer actually. For us with design, we're done designing a watch when it just feels right. When you look at it, and I'm more excited about wearing that watch than any other watch I own. My brand, other watches that I own that I've collected over the years. That's when I know it's good. It's when it's just a feeling. It's like done. I got it. Nailed it. CNC, let's go.
Well, I think that there's a couple different answers to that question. From a quality standpoint, you have to have the best manufacturer that you have. I mean, at some point, you're going to make some tough decisions where you're saying, okay, this piece here, I'm spending more money on this than a lot of other things, but I just feel that if the consumer sees this, they're just going to get blown away. And for example, we screwed up on our first watch, and we didn't have a luminescent ceramic bezel. And people made fun of us, and they joked, and you know what, we knew it. We were trying our best, we did the best ceramic, we found the best ceramic manufacturer we could. But on the second one, we were like, you know what, let's go find the guy who's just nailed the ceramic bezel to close. So we did, and it took us 3 years to find that guy. And so from a manufacturing standpoint, it's almost like a never-ending battle to find a much better manufacturer. And sometimes price is not the final decision. From a design aspect, I have to completely just bring in what Jay said. I have to just think to myself, this thing is so awesome, the comfort is just overwhelming, and I think design does follow function, so why do we all love certain brands like Rolex, for example? It's because it's so comfortable, and you can wear them, and it can be from 1965, and it can be from 2015, and it's just, wow, that's something you're And I think that's what we're all trying to achieve with our brand is comfort and quality at the same time. And then making it as affordable as we can to try to value proposition. So.
We have time for one more if it's quick. I think we just heard the closing bell.
Yeah, so I just had a question for John. You mentioned that you worked with brands like Seiko around movements and things like that. I'm just curious, when you're looking to work with a big brand like that, a large group, how do you go about that? Is it a relationship thing, or is it like as a micro watch brand? I'm sure it's not other brands that are looking to do that. So, what's that process like?
I was very fortunate in my history working with other brands prior to starting out that I had relationships with Seiko. It's nice that I can actually come to the show and meet with them. So working on previous watch brands, they always used Seiko movements. So I was doing communication already with the manufacturers, putting all these movements into those watches. So I basically transitioned over to, well, guys, all our conversations prior to this for those other brands need to cease. Everything from now on forward will be for myself, for Brew Watches, we'll be working together on this. And I would travel to, whether it was Hong Kong or Switzerland, or in this show. And it was great. I was able to meet with one of the fantastic gentlemen from Seiko and show them the prototypes and say, you know, I'd like to go over these technical details with you. Do you have suggestions or advice? And this is one of the smartest men in the room. Like he would go over this and say, I've gone over this with my team already. These are the things that you need to change. This is good. This is what the engineers think. So to answer your question, I had previous relationships with them. It's not difficult to reach out, especially in this industry. Everybody's very generous with sharing information and relationships. But I gotta tell you, Seiko support was just like, from my perception, amazing. More than I could have ever bargained for in my life.
Guys, on behalf of all of us, thank you so much for coming out. On behalf of WatchTime, on behalf of Gear Patrol, on behalf of these guys, thank you for supporting American watchmaking, and we hope you enjoyed this. See you soon.